Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a Christmas card to share with you using the Holiday Birds digital stamp by Rachelle Anne Miller. This one is a really fun digital stamp and I wanted to show you on this video how I actually planned printing my digital stamps. Now the thing is that most of the time I don't really edit a ton of things. Here in this case I just inserted the image. Next I create my own rectangle measuring the size of a mini slimline, and I will show you exactly the same process but for an A2 size card. So I just place two images always. Most of the time they are different, but in this case I really just wanted to show you how I tackle this. And then I create those rectangles measuring the size of a card base. The second one is the A2 size, and the first one is the mini slimline where I will create my card with. So I just place those rectangles, and once I know that the images fit and they are, well, the space in between is wide enough to have two cards without them interfering with each other, then I normally go print things. Now in this case I really wanted to just create a tiny adaptation. Now what I wanted to do was to remove the lights, and I also have an iPad where I've Procreate, and there are other programs, I'm sure of it. It would have been easier to just erase things on there in the program, but my iPad wasn't loaded and I didn't know where to find it either, so I couldn't charge it, and so therefore I decided to do it this way. But I also wanted to show you that it's perfectly possible if you don't have any fancy programs or an iPad or things like that. You just have a laptop, maybe you have an alternative for a Word on your laptop or on the computer that you're using somewhere. Don't let it stop you because you don't have anything special that you think you need. You don't need it. In case you want to do tiny adaptations, I think it's perfectly possible here. So I wanted to remove all of the light bulbs because I wanted to add embellishments there, and I didn't want anything to peek from underneath it. I did want to have that tiny piece in between the bulb itself, where you actually turn the bulb in. I wanted to have that. So here you have the paper, and normally when I start creating a card with digital stamps, I already have half of my paper here lying in front of me, and then I start with the card because, well, I have that other image for another time. So that was a tiny bit how I tackle things in the easiest way, but as I already mentioned in previous videos, the sky is the limit with digital stamps. The great thing about it is that you can change size, like this one is bigger than the one that I have prepped for an A2 size card, but everything will fit. There is not a worry about it. When you buy clear stamps, you are limited with that sizing. But there you have the dice. Well, positive, negatives about everything, but I really love these images, so I am glad to do digital stamps with the images from Rachelle Anne Miller. So for the birds, I decided to go with browns. Really simple, because I'm going to add tons of colors with the light bulbs already, so I didn't want to overdo it. Of course, you can go rainbow, you can do it one color. I'm going to create 3 different kind of birds by just each time changing one marker and going lighter. Okay, so really simple. It is a combination that in case of big images, I would just use all for that one big image. So it's really simple. There aren't a ton of markers. And for the scarf, the hat, I will use the same reds. Also there again, you can use rainbow colors if you want to, but I wanted to keep the coloring as simple as possible and really let those light bulbs shine in their rainbow assortment thing. So the birds, in total, I used 5 markers for 3 combinations. The beaks and the feet are all the same. The belly is all E50. And then we have a range from E37 to E50 for the combination itself on the body. So really simple. Now also the paper that I'm using is Transotype Perfect Coloring Paper. a great paper for Copics, for alcohol markers in general. But you do you, of course. The only thing with digital stamps is that you need to assure that your printer can handle the thickness of your paper. This one isn't that thick. I think it's 80. I have no clue. And also there are settings on your printer. I must admit that in the beginning I was too lazy to adapt settings, and most of the times, because of the pressure that the printer was putting on the paper, I had like spots on my second image each time, and sometimes it was the second image that I wanted to color in, so really difficult. But lately I have been changing the settings every time I want to print something for my coloring with Copics, and it is a lifesaver. So if you're like me and you're too lazy normally to change settings, the thickness of the paper and such, truly it is so much better to do it. But okay, that was just me maybe. Next up, for the card itself, I wanted to create a mini slimline card, and I really love this die from Crafty Meraki. It's a frame-worthy mini slimline. There are 2 other sizes in it, but if you really want a mini slimline with a frame right until the edges, what I like to do, then the biggest one is just perfect. And then for the sentiment, I decided to take the Deck the Halls from Hello Bluebird, and there is a sentiment in it. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It is like typewriter kind of style, and I love the typewriter style. I just want to buy a typewriter to just have my own sentiments for all my cards. But then again, will I really use it, or will it be just more of a statement or an accessory in my craft room? So I haven't done that purchase yet, just because of that. And there are some dies. There are some stamps, sentiments from some brands that have like the typewriter look, and I just adore it. So I will keep it that currently. Now about the embellishments, I searched online for someone to still sell it, and I searched online for the name, and I have no clue. I didn't find it. It is from Pinkfresh Studio, and I think these are crystals, but I couldn't find the exact name, and I am wondering if this product still is sold, because, well, I bought it like a few years back, I think, and I actually don't think I used it well enough. So today was a perfect day, but in case this isn't sold anymore, or in case you don't have this, just take any rainbow embellishments that you have and have fun with it. Now in these tiny jars, there are 3 sizes, and I went for the medium size. I later on also tried the smaller size, but I truly love the medium size for this. So I just added them with some liquid glue. I also checked later on whether I place them correctly or as close to the thing to turn in the bulbs, so that there wasn't any gap, because it's not always that easy to see when you're adhering, and I don't want to be too much in like this video with all of my hair, but it was inevitable and I tried. So in the end I just started adding, and then later on I started moving a bit these things around. So I have my rainbow lamps almost ready here, and I really think they draw the attention on this card. I love it for it, and I actually hope to be creating some more cards like this. If I can, it would be really nice. Now, to make sure that my envelope wasn't going to get too bulky either, or just be well, sometimes if you add embellishments you can see it through while mailing, well, when it arrives at someone's place. And so I wanted my frame to be high enough so that it would also take some of the pressure off of the embellishments here. So I went for actually a dark frame around. The thing is that I wanted to first do some dark ink blending around the birds, really night sky kind of vibe. But then with the idea of the light bulbs, I thought, well, that will not be working because they will not stand out as much. They will. I think it would be perfect, but while I was creating this card, I just wasn't feeling that. So I decided to create this frame with the Midnight dark blue cardstock from Concord and Ninth, and I thought this way, for anyone who is thinking a tiny bit further than just what he or she sees, this is the night sky in a really simple way added to this card. So I added the frame on top of the white one that I die cut to have this image perfectly sized, and I decided to add some foam behind. This is a double-sided adhesive foam strips from Heffy Doodle, which is really great thickness. There are several sizes of it, but it fits perfectly. I also wondered whether I would make a shaker out of this. This die truly is perfect to create a shaker. I did it with the Merry, when was it, in for the Christmas in July, from Rachelle Anne Miller, the new release there. I did like Merry with like a snowman and such. There I created a shaker with this frame. It's really easy to do. So you just add some acetate if you want to. But I thought with all of the embellishment already, the other ones would get stuck. So I didn't do that. So here I just added the panel inside, and then I will finish off this card by adding some of this NUVO crystal drop Simply White on top of the white areas from the hat. I think that's a really lovely detail. And then this card is ready. So it stayed really simple, but with a rainbow assortment of lamps, I think it's a really cute and fun card. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and of course that you like the end result. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you all, and I'll be back soon with some new crafty inspiration. Bye!